Alright, that's the sound of record.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Justin Herbert.
Oh, man. Just let that sink in for like a few seconds.
Mm-hmm. You take a little drink.
Mm-hmm.
Get it nice and deep like.
Oh, yeah. All right. 3, 2.
Oh man, I wasn't recording. We gotta do it again.
You weren't recording?
Gotta do it again. I don't even see any hair missing.
There's hair missing. I think it's smooth.
Good Lord.
Smooth.
That is gross.
Welcome back, fair weather fans. It's a great day. Why is it a great day? It's the Marine Corps birthday. Happy birthday, Marines. Hoorah. All right, so today we're going to continue with the with what we've been doing a couple storylines. Pete, how was the waxing your legs? You going to continue doing that? Get that smooth leg going?
It did get a lot, though. It didn't feel that bad. I mean, it got all the hair off, I'll tell you that. The pepper was way worse, but...
So you're saying we should have just did the whole leg?
Probably should have.
But yeah, hopefully Justin Herbert does better this upcoming week than
You
last.
didn't even do bad. You just got carried away
He was
saying
nowhere,
top 2.
and I don't even think he was top 5.
Yeah, too many good quarterbacks.
No,
300
a
yards.
lot of quarterbacks had a good day.
Yeah, they did.
300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nothing to blink your eye at.
Just too many good matchups defensive-wise. Oh, wait, no one's playing defense this year. There's the Steelers, sometimes the Ravens, and then no one else. Yeah. So,
Speaking about being wrong, what's your first storyline, Pete?
Oh, and talk about that Bucks Saints game. You're all over the Saints, so I guess that made you feel good, huh? You can take it away. Have your shining moment here.
Saints easily a top 3 team in the NFC, like I was saying, and they're better than the Bucks. It's them, Seahawks, or the Packers, and Saints have better defense than the Packers, and their offense is getting it figured out. Finally got their number 1 weapon back, and Antonio Brown, real difference maker, like you said.
It was his first game in over a year.
Yeah.
And played since September. Give it a minute.
that's fine. The Saints did dominate the Bucks both times that they've played.
Yeah,
And Tom Brady threw as many picks as points scored for that team. So
No, he looked terrible. He looked like he was 43. I'm not going to defend Tom Brady on here this week, but they're still going to make the playoffs. They're still going to win 10 games or more. Like, the world is not falling.
yeah, because Tom Brady went to the team that had the easiest schedule.
Maybe, but
That's fine. They're still going to make it. I didn't think they were going to win 13 games. Hopefully they win 11, but that's nor here nor there. It's just a bet I have. But, I mean, they just weren't ready to play. I mean, Brady looked terrible. Raheem Morris looked awful. I don't know what that defense was doing. They're playing a bunch of zone coverage when they're playing man like all year. I'm like, Drew Brees doesn't throw the ball downfield. Michael Thomas, real big difference maker. He had 3 catches.
Yeah, I was going to say he didn't do a lot.
No one, their rookie tight end who no one's heard of caught a touchdown.
make any Aaron Troutman slander on this
Good
podcast.
Lord, you can find that guy at Sharky's tonight. Aaron Troutman, who is that? Anyway, they just got killed in all phases of the game. The game was over. When your offense goes 3 and out 4 straight times, yeah, Bruce Arians, Tom Brady, like, just take a dive into the bay after the game. I don't know. It was.
Well, they were also throwing shade at each other. That's a great relationship.
They've been doing that all year, and it's weird to me, honestly. Like,
Because I don't remember Bruce Arians being like that at anywhere else. Like, he wasn't like Carson Palmer was the reason why we lost.
Yeah, that's tough. But here's the real question. You still think the Buccaneers are Super Bowl contenders?
sure. In the NFC, no team's that much dominant over the other in the NFC. No one's the Chiefs of the NFC. So
I mean, even that storyline, you could continue to argue that the Chiefs aren't the I mean, the Panthers gave them a run for their money, so it's not like they're going to dominate their way to the Super Bowl. Obviously, I projected them to make it, but I'm just saying they're not going to dominate their way there.
I think they're far and away Super Bowl favorites.
I just think it's the NFL. It's any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to kick a field goal from 67 yards out.
Speaking of missed field goals,
Yours.
yours.
Speaking of missed field goals, let's talk about the Arizona Cardinals game against the Dolphins. It was a fun game to watch. I enjoyed that game thoroughly. Loved watching Tua play well. I always love watching Kyler play. The thing about Kyler, every time I watch him, I just feel like he's just tired. Like he just runs out there, he just zooms in on his face. I'm like, are you ready to snap the ball? Like, should you go sit down? And then he just does his thing. I'm like, oh, okay, you feeling all right?
He does always have that blank look on his face. Even on the sidelines, he's always just sitting down, zoned out or zoned in. I don't know. But Kyler, he just reminds me of Russell Wilson, obviously, but just the team, just save us, Kyler. Our defense is terrible. We're not playing Isaiah Simmons. Patrick Peterson, yeah, he's still good. He's not what he was. He's past his prime, but they have to win in a shootout. Kyler Murray, he just has to do it all. He's the best running back on the team.
Probably is. I think Kyler plays football like an angry toddler. He runs like an angry toddler. He throws like an angry toddler. He's damn good. And I do see the Russ comparison where just save us, Kyler. I think their defense is better than what they're playing. But Kyler just starts with Kyler and ends with Kyler with the Cardinals.
Yeah. I think they have the pieces for the defense to be good. Not elite, obviously, but to even make it to where it's not a shootout. They just aren't playing. Calias Campbell, I think, was talked about once this past week.
Calias Campbell doesn't play on the team anymore.
He's on the Ravens.
Who was I thinking?
Chandler Jones,
They
maybe?
lost Chandler Jones.
Yeah,
That was the
Chandler
big
Jones
loss.
Season.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you who you're talking
Oh,
about.
man. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, so watching the game, there was, I don't know, 5 4th and shorts, right, before, including that last one that Cliff Kingsbury didn't go for. But every other one before that, he goes for until the game's on the line. I just didn't understand it.
Yeah, it didn't make much sense. And even if they make that field goal, minute 53, Miami has a timeout left. I think Tua's bringing them down, at least getting a field goal. They hadn't shown they could stop Tua all day. And they got a good field goal kicker. They would have had to get it within 50 yards. And inside, I think they could have made it, unlike Zane Gonzalez.
How are you short in a 48-yarder or 49-yarder indoors? I can't remember the last time I've seen that. I get it if you're kicking outdoors, maybe with the wind, but come on, man.
He just kicked it like he knew he had it, and it's just 3 yards short.
Well, if they zoomed in on the kicker and the placeholder was like, "Hey, what happened?" And he's just like, "I don't know." I have no idea what happened. I just didn't kick it as hard as I could, I guess. But I mean, I was more angry with Isabella, running 5 yards backwards. It's his fault they lost. No, because that happened probably 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter or something. Yeah. But it still just angered me to no end. You're catching the ball with a good yard past the first down line. You shouldn't be running away from it. And then they ended up having to punt it. But
I just think they're still learning how to win. That team isn't. They're projected to win, 7 games, but they're in the playoff hunt, and they just don't know how to close games. And Cliff Kingsbury, he's still learning how to win the NFL because he didn't win in college, and he just got the job based off his Patrick Mahomes and his offensive whatever. At Texas Tech, I like Cliff, but I don't think he's Sean McVay. I don't think he's Kyle Shanahan.
I think Kyler Murray helps a ton.
Yeah, I think Kyler Murray makes Cliff more than Cliff helps Kyler.
I don't know if Cliff Kingsbury coaches a style that can win in the NFL. Where on the other side with Tua, I think that Flores with Tua is coaching a way that wins in the NFL. It might not be flashy. He's not dropping back Tua 50 times a game, but it's a way to win in the NFL. You can't just come out there and look at the Cowboys, try and run as many plays as they can. They can't win a game. Even with Dak, they couldn't win a game. Cliff's kind of the same way. I don't think it's yet to be seen, but I think he's going too extreme on the spread offense and getting as many plays in. He needs to slow it down and try and win some games.
Well, I think you're on the right track. I just disagree. I don't think he's trying to get as many plays in. I think it just kind of develops that way. Like we spoke about it, like Kyler being the best running back on the team definitely doesn't help. When Chase Edmonds is your lead back, one of the fourth downs that I was talking about, 4th and short, and they just hand the ball off. Chase Edmonds had zero chance of getting it. Like, that guy's so small. Like, you need a big running back to run in between the tackles. Like, no, absolutely not. He is a receiving back, and they're trying to make him a running back, and it's just not happening. And Kenyon Drake not developing the way that they thought he would, I think, is really hurting them.
Where's Beanie Wells when you need him?
Yeah, he's not on the team either. I don't know. I still enjoy watching them play. Like, I'm watching them. Yeah, he's really fun to watch. I think Tua going forward is going to be really fun to watch also.
Yeah, I just think Flores is he's just a lot better coach because he's a defensive guy, and that defense is nasty. Like, the corners are just the top. It's the best cornerback duo in the league, as far as I'm concerned. So you can play that way. The Cardinals cannot, they can't. They're not going to win games unless it's by shootout. The Dolphins, they can win a 24-20 game. I think the Cardinals have to score 30-plus every game just to win, maybe, possibly win.
And to do that, you have to target DeAndre Hopkins more than 4 times.
Yeah, that was an anomaly.
Like, you didn't target him once in the first half. It's just insane.
Xavier Howard, man, lockdown.
He was raping him out there. Every time, like, in the second half, every time he threw the ball, like, Hopkins was getting tackled. Like, yeah, like, I kind of understand why he wasn't throwing his way, but, like, if you're getting the flags, like, just continue throwing it to him. I don't know, like, it does worry me, like, with my projection of them making a push through the playoffs, that they're not doing too well, but I still have faith in Kyler Murray.
I'm buying more Dolphin stock than I'm buying Cardinal stock. Dolphins are playing a winning brand of football.
Different conference. Don't care.
What do you got, Hoot?
I got some back to the cheap defensive or daily fantasy plays of the week. At quarterback, Carson Wentz, 5,900. He had a down game against the Giants, but his 2 previous times he put up 30 DraftKings points. He's going up against the Giants again. Just saw him. I think he's going to have a good game. He's got not as cheap of options with Fulgham coming up on his price on DraftKings, but I got another cheap option later on at wide receiver. How do you guys think about Wentz?
He hates Wentz.
I hate
Wentz can be $1, so, like.
Yeah.
I'm never, ever picking Wentz.
I like Wentz for 50.
Yeah. Every once in a while, he sits and prays, and sometimes it works. So whatever,
He's not Alex Smith, so he's not throwing 3 picks to the Giants defense. I like Wentz this week a lot.
Hate on the guy that almost died from his leg coming off.
Yeah. I'm hating on him because he's 38 years old and can't throw it 20 yards downfield.
He definitely didn't think he was coming into the game thanks to a broken off foot. Like, that ankle injury was pretty bad also.
The running back is a DraftKings mistake. Mike Davis at the bare minimum price of $4K. He's going to be 60% owned. You can just do so many things. You have to have Mike Davis. If Christian McCaffrey doesn't play. Christian McCaffrey plays, then stay far away from Mike Davis. But it's looking like he's not going to play. Mike Davis at the cheapest. You can get a running back at $4K. You got to get all over Mike Davis.
Oh, yeah. Mike Davis saw like 3 plays this past week. Like 3 snaps?
He had 5 catches this week.
Oh, did he?
He was 30%.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But I mean,
I just felt like I never saw him.
They weren't for a lot of yards.
He was consistently 6,800, 7,000 when McCaffrey was out. And if McCaffrey's out again, he drops down 3,000. You have to play Mike Davis.
You
Yeah,
do.
no, that's true.
If he gets 10 points, I'll be really happy, though. That Bucks
Yeah.
Just
run
don't-
defense is good.
You really
Passing the
think
ball.
McCaffrey's not playing?
don't think-
Day to day, I don't think they're going to rush him back.
What about
Rushing back, he just played.
what about Duke Johnson? If David Johnson didn't play 4K,
Oh yeah,
I've been,
I
I've
love
been,
Duke Johnson.
Duke Johnson did
I
well
love that
last
play.
week. Did all right.
I actually don't even think he is 4K unless you know that he's 4K.
He's 4K.
Because he was even getting work with David Johnson. And I've been screaming for 3 years that if he got away from Hugh Jackson or Bill O'Brien and they used Duke Johnson, how the leading rusher in the U's history, he would be a solid player, but they just use him as a scat back for some reason.
Yeah, he does well when he gets playing time.
Okay, so the question is, if both are available, who are you picking?
If McCaffrey doesn't play, Mike Davis, 100%.
And if David Johnson doesn't play,
Even then, Mike Davis. Duke Johnson wouldn't be 6,800 if David Johnson wasn't playing, as Mike Davis was when McCaffrey wasn't playing.
I get that, but I'm just saying I like Duke Johnson going up against Cleveland more than I do Mike Davis going against Tampa.
Yeah,
Mike Davis just gets a lot of
I just
utilization.
they throw him the ball, they run him the ball. He's their focal. They treat him like Christian McCaffrey almost whenever McCaffrey's not there. I love Mike
That's
Davis.
just the game plan every week, no matter who's that running back.
Yeah, but enough about cheap, bare bones running backs. Wide receiver, one of them is team up with the Wentz, Jalen Rager, 4,900. Coming off a bye, had a touchdown the week before.
Are you from Philly? Jesus, man! Every week,
Well, you got
just the Eagles. Oh, fly, Eagle, fly!
Eagles fly, baby. You got to team up Wentz with somebody, and Fulgham's up to 6,400. Rager's down 4,900. I think they're going to use him a lot, even with Alshon possibly coming back. Another one, people are going to hate on it. DJ Moore won't keep busting every week. 5,100. He's a big play guy. I like DJ Moore bounce back.
I'm the biggest DJ Moore fan before this season, but Teddy Bridgewater hates the guy.
He doesn't hate him.
Oh,
He just
no,
likes Robbie Anderson better.
And Curtis Samuel. The guy loves Curtis Samuel.
I
I'm like,
think the
dude.
play calling was more for Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, I think it's
It's Curtis Samuel talent-wise couldn't hold DJ Moore's jock. Like,
It doesn't matter. It's just like
That's why I
the
don't-
scheme is, and like that's the game plan. Like Curtis Samuel doesn't like get open. It's like, hey, we're gonna scheme him the ball. So that's not Teddy Bridgewater's fault. Like, hey, this play's supposed to go to Curtis Samuel, so it's gonna go to Curtis
and
Samuel.
to be fair, I love the guy, but Shavarius Ward was holding DJ Moore the entire game. And I know Burr, my buddy Burr, was always over Shavarius Ward. All he does is hold and just pray. The old Seahawks defense strategy, hold them and they won't call it every time. That's what he was doing to DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore has a huge bounce back this week.
and I hope you're right, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm not as big. I like Jalen Rager, honestly, more than DJ Moore this week.
He's
I like another cheap guy. He's like 3,700, Hamler, Denver.
DJ.
DJ Hamler's been nice the last 2 weeks. For 3,700
And Fant might not play.
against the Raiders, I think it's a good play.
Albert O's out. So, yeah, I don't hate the Hamler play either. And tight end, we'll get back to this at the end of the podcast. But I like Austin Hooper at 3,900. I don't care about the weather.
Just doubling down on
I don't
it,
care.
basically.
I don't care about the appendicitis. I think he comes back and easily scores a touchdown.
Don't pick that
70
guy.
yards
He's
and
not
a
gonna
touchdown. Yeah, but enough on that. What's your bets, Pete? We go right to the
Yeah,
bets.
we can go
All right,
to
well,
the bets.
you went 3-0, went 2-1, 2-1. So we had a solid week. If you guys listened to it, you should have made some money. First one, smash it. Chargers at Miami. Miami laying 2.5. Take the Dolphins. They're going to win that game. Just like they beat the Rams, I'll say it. Team going from LA to Miami. Check the record like the last 5 years. West Coast to East. I got Miami smashing the Chargers.
I mean, not only the travel, but alluded to before, Miami's playing some good football.
Defense is solid.
Tua looks good.
And the Chargers can't
don't-
help themselves.
No, Chargers can only they can only lose by one score.
Yeah.
They can get close. They just can't get that dub.
39 one-scored losses since 2015.
I mean, the only thing like that's kind of down on Miami for me is Preston Williams' injury. I don't know how serious that is.
But they got weapons other than that. Preston Williams isn't an
He's definitely one of their top.
he is, but he's not irreplaceable.
Just take Miami. Yours.
So I'm just gonna give you two because it's the same game. But the Titans -2 against the Colts, and then I'm also taking the under in that game. It's 48.5, and I just see both. I see that game just being like a defensive kind of game, and the Colts playing such a slow, like just a slow game.
Pace.
It is. It's got to be one of the slowest paces in football.
It's one of the teams that I haven't watched a lot of because of that. It's just like I like watching the shootouts, so I tend to not watch like the Colts a lot. So, but yeah, like Colts defense is solid. Titans, like running the ball. Well, I guess
No, they like running the ball. Derrick Henry hasn't quite hit his stride yet, but they do love running the ball. He still got 21 totes this last weekend. He didn't amount to much, but Tannehill only threw the ball a little over 20 times.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup. I mean, they played the Bears. I don't think anyone was expecting much.
and I think this game is gonna like be similar to that game.
Oh yeah, I could see it 21-17, something like that easily.
That's a high scoring version of that game.
It's definitely gonna resemble that game.
Those are good.
Well, I like that. I'm going to piggyback off of that. I'll do my two because they're both in the same game. I like Eagles. So, yeah, fly, Eagles, fly, baby. -3.5 versus the Giants. The Giants are just terrible. Don't let the game last week versus Washington fool you. The Giants are not good. And I like the over in that game because neither defense is good, and it's only 44.5. The line stinks, but I like Eagles and the over in that. I think the Eagles could put up 30 on. God, I just sound like an Eagles fan. More and more I talk.
I like the over, but dude, no, the Eagles are not that good.
They're not, but
The Giants are that bad.
the Eagles.
The
could put up
Giants
31
have
points on passing.
lost a lot, but they have put up
Do
fights.
we need to tell you the Daniel Jones stat?
Yeah.
There's 5
That's
career
okay. They
wins
can
for
still
the
lose.
Redskins.
They can still lose by a field goal and still win that bet. 3.5.
I don't think it's with that field goal. They played a terrible game and they won by more than 3.5 last time they played. So I just like both of those.
I like him coming off a bye. I just like the spot.
Miles
coming
Sanders
off a
coming
bye.
back.
Sanders.
Alshon Jeffrey maybe coming back.
For like a couple plays, and then he gets
Oh,
hurt again.
Yeah,
Like,
I hope Alshon Jeffrey doesn't come back.
I do too, yeah.
I'm done with that guy.
right? Like, how many full games has he actually played? Like
Since
6?
Chicago, probably.
No,
less
like
than
in his,
6.
like his entire career, even in Chicago. Like, he was never healthy in Chicago either.
Yeah, no, it's a good. I like those bets, but my second one, I know
Don't
you're.
take the Eagles.
Just rattle off rattle off your second and
Yeah,
third.
just-
Oh, okay. Well, the second one, you're already talking Texans money line, but don't listen to Hoot here. Cleveland -3 at home in bad weather. They will win this game. Nick Chubb coming back is going to run it down the Texans' throat. Book that
I
one.
hate that so much. We're going to look at the Browns in 3 weeks, and they're going to be under 500, and we're going to be like, I cannot believe we fell for the Browns trick again. Baker stinks. Their defense stinks. Yeah, they have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, but no receiver. The Browns stink.
Texans stink.
Yeah, well, the Texans always make this late season run. I love
Not this year. They've won 2 games against the Jaguars.
Make it 3.
Not happening. My last one, but this one, over. Denver at Oakland. Vegas. The Raiders over 52. Raiders always hit the over. I think they've hit the over in every one of their games, but like 1 or 2.
And it helps that Denver's defense is terrible.
Oh yeah, I feel like all the AFC West defense, if it's an AFC West matchup, book the over. I don't care what two teams are playing. So, yeah, take that one.
So my last one, gotta go with my boy Josh Allen. Bills +2. But that is such a small line. I'm going the money line when I'm betting it.
Oh, I'd take the money line, too.
Yeah, take the money line. It's +125, so you get a little bit more than your money back. I mean, like that game, if I'm not winning that bet, like the Bills are losing that game anyways, So if I'm winning that game, or like if they're winning that game, it's not by 1.
Yeah.
It's not by 2. It's going to be by 3.
No, I like that. The Cardinals, that's going to be bet down to a pick 'em. I mean, basically is now. The Cardinals, I just have a hard time them being a favorite after I know like the Bills are coming off a high, and sometimes that's a bad spot when a team gets a big win, like when they're not supposed to, but I do like the Bills money line. So I think they're just a better team than Arizona.
Speaking of a team that I think is a better team and laying points, I'll go on a limb with Wong. My original was Seahawks plus 1.5, but who cares about the 1.5? Seahawks are beating the Rams. The Rams are frauds, pretenders. They might make the playoffs, but they're not for real, and they're not the Seahawks.
We need to check the tape because weeks ago you were all over the Rams.
I think they might make the playoffs.
You were a big Rams guy, and I said their only wins were against the NFC East.
I think they'll make the playoffs, but they're not better than the Seahawks, who I think is a top 2, top 3 team in the NFC.
Because the Rams are that team that have those flashes. Right?
They do.
Like, some of those games you're like, nobody is beating this team. And then other games you're like, are they beating any team?
I get that.
Like when they play the Dolphins and Jared Goff just drops the ball on the ground.
No, I agree with that. I have a hard time seeing Russ lose 2 games in a row. I just don't like betting against the guy. I'm never comfortable like betting. If I took that game, I'd take the over easily. I don't care if the over is 58. Like I'm just
55.
yeah. But I just can't take the Rams.
And they're favored. Yeah, I don't like it. But
All right. So that does it for our bets. So on to our next Reach or Preach. So this bet the punishment is gonna be the winner gets to throw a few eggs at the loser.
3 eggs.
We're gonna boil a few of them and see if the winner can actually pick the raw ones. No, just kidding. But so who gets to pick this bet?
and
Who gets to reach on this one?
my bet is coming straight off appendicitis and swirling winds up in Cleveland. Austin Hooper, one of the best names in sports, is going to score a touchdown. First game back, goal line touchdown. Wong's going to be suicidal.
So never been big on Hooper. So yeah, I'm gonna say you're definitely reaching on that one. And for you to be low on Cleveland, that's kind of weird, right? So
Somebody's got to score.
no, not necessarily. But that'll do it for us. Stay fair from KC.
Under 30 minutes. Let's go.
That one went quick, but it felt like it was good.
That's
time.
about how long we should make it.
Yeah.
Because somebody clicks on it and they see 38 minutes, they're like, no. They see 28 minutes.